Hey everybody, yes, you see the title, you see the number. We are at the 100th edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential, and I think the name of the character says it best. I told you it had to do with, it had something to do with the number one character on Doug Walker's, aka Nostalgia Critic's hottest animated females list that he did, several years ago. And of course, I'm talking about none other from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit. And what more can be said about Jessica Rabbit that no one else has ever said yet? I mean, I think Doug Walker said it best when he introduced her as his number one pick on that countdown. He's like I even need to say her name. And honestly, you don't have to say her name because, what else is there to say? I mean, when Disney, Touchstone, Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg, and all of them came up with these characters, obviously they knew that they needed to come up with a character that was going to be eye candy for, the viewing public. Not just for the men and the women, but eye candy overall. It's like they needed a character that, besides Roger and the human characters, was going to stick out and be remembered for a long time and be looked at as the standard bearer to what a femme fatale or a young, attractive female character should be modeled after in some capacity, or at least get inspiration from. In a previous countdown that I did, or previous edition that I did, just like a couple of editions down before, about Paulette, who debuted in Duck Pimples, I mentioned there that Paulette was the inspiration for the 100th edition, the 100th Animated Girl Profile, although character of the 100th Animated Girl Profile. And, I hinted at the fact that Paulette was the inspiration somewhat for this character. And of course, obviously, I don't think it was any secret to anybody who I was probably alluding to. Because you look on Wikipedia, you look at... like I said, you look at Wikipedia, you look at all the other sources out there, and pretty much everybody, and I mean everybody, talks about the fact that Paulette was somewhat the inspiration. Paulette, from the 1945 Duck Pimples Donald Duck short, that psychedelic LSD, what were they thinking short, was the inspiration, part of the inspiration, I should say, for Jessica Rabbit. Now, some might say, well, she couldn't be the most of the inspiration, right? If she was only part of it, right? Who else? Oh, I tell you who else. I'll tell you who else. Why don't you look up Tex Avery? Look up Tex Avery and Red Hot Riding Hood. Yeah, Red Hot Hood. I guess you could say Red Hot Hood, if you will, or whatever her name is, but Red Hot Riding Hood. Look that up. Look that up. That is a Tex Avery cartoon. And this character is the most iconic from that self-titled cartoon. Yes, it was a droop. I think it was a Droopy Dog cartoon as well, but it was mostly this character that was inspired, or was the most memorable out of it. And I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever, folks, that along with Paulette from Duck Pimples, that Red Hot Riding Hood was also inspiration for Jessica Rabbit. Look at the design of both characters, you put them together, you fuse them together, and you get a merged amalgamation that results in Jessica Rabbit. That's what you get. You basically, if you were to put these two in a blender, blend them together, pour them out into a female shape, and you would get Jessica Rabbit. If you were to do a fusion, and you were to have Paulette and Red Hot Riding Hood do the fusion dance a la Dragon Ball Z, boom! Boom. End result, Jessica Rabbit. That is no lie. That is no lie whatsoever. And everybody listening and watching this video knows that. Because honestly, when you look at Jessica Rabbit's design, what else can be said? You see the Paulette inspiration. You see the Red Riding Hood inspiration. You see everything. And again, when she came to be, she set the standard for what every female, attractive love interest female, she set the bar basically for what they should look like or be presented in some capacity. And that is no lie. I look basically at one of my favorite Rescue Ranger episodes, 00 Chipmunk, and when Gadget dresses up as her supposed spy femme fatale cousin as part of an original spy game that she came up with to make Dale feel better, you can't tell me that that design did not get inspired and lifted from Jessica Rabbit. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that in the following cartoon, Tailspin, in their episode Bringing Down Babyface, or Bringing Down Babyface, you can't tell me that Rebecca's gangster style, mall style, that she disguised herself in to help Baloo clear his name, you can't tell me that wasn't inspired by Jessica Rabbit. It was. It was. And then you take a look at a lot of the Disney princesses that came afterwards, and as crazy as it sounds, there's a lot of them just by the way they're styled, just by the way they're designed, or what have you. Just by the way they're designed, you could tell part of their design was inspired and lifted from Jessica Rabbit. There is no denying that. There is no denying that whatsoever. Every Disney princess design, possibly with the exception of Little Mermaid, but from Beauty and the Beast going forward, no doubt had inspiration taken from Jessica Rabbit. All the way up to even currently with the likes of Elsa. Elsa, you can't tell me her design wasn't partially inspired by Jessica Rabbit. It was. The point is, she set the bar as far as how a female character should be presented in any form of fashion. Heck, even Fawn Deer from Bonkers, Raw Tunage and the Bonkers show had some inspiration from Jessica Rabbit, and that's a fact. Minerva Mink had the same kind of inspiration, and that's a fact. The point, going back to Minerva before I move forward, Moon over Minerva, when she's in her dress with her sleeves and everything, where do you think that was lifted from? Exactly, Jessica Rabbit. Point is, every other female character that we have seen in animation, whether it's been on a television series, it's been on the big screen, heck, even in comic books, some of their design has been lifted, if not inspired, by Jessica Rabbit. And not just their design, not just her design either. The one thing that made Jessica Rabbit stand out was her personality. She was a femme fatale done to perfection. Because she was a femme fatale with a heart of gold. And when I mean a heart of gold, basically, she was a femme fatale that, despite how she looked, did not mind getting her hands dirty. Did not mind getting her hands dirty. She basically stood up for herself most of the time, but she was also very loving and caring of course, Roger and those around her that she considered friends. The point is, she was done as a femme fatale to perfection. One that has, of course, like I said, a heart of gold, but done to perfection. And every female character that's had a similar personality trait incorporated it into them took inspiration from that. There's no doubt. Even when they go into a disguise as part of a mission, part of the personality that they would incorporate as part of that disguise, you can't tell me the writers did not lift from Jessica Rabbit. They did. They did. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. In the long run, folks, this is a character that I believe that had they done a lot more with it. I mean, because in the movie, when she reacts to when she reacts to the revelation that this is this big old machine of dip that Judge Doom has planned to annihilate Toontown with, you could sell me there. You sell me there like, whoa, I didn't know she could be that expressive. Heck, even in some of the shorts that they did afterwards to kind of build up to a sequel, which never happened, she was expressive. Point is, you can't say any more about this character than what anybody else has already said. And I'm surprised. Just because of legal issues, hopefully those got sorted out, I'm surprised they never wanted to put her into any other show. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that, they didn't work something out to get her into House of Mouse. I'm surprised they didn't do something to get her and Roger and their friends their own show, which they would have had originally had things worked out, but instead Disney had to come up with bonkers as a result, which I thought was a good trade in my opinion. Or which I thought was a good compensation in my opinion. I know others may disagree, but I thought it was a good trade-off. But overall, I think there could have been a lot more done with her. And if they ever do get a movie off the ground, like the longer-rated prequel, as it's being known, then hopefully they'll do a lot more with her character. Because you can't just, give us what you did and then give us a few teases here and there and not go any further. I mean, I'm sure the comics that they appeared in through Disney Adventures and maybe even the Disney comics, did a lot more with her. But again, you can't just leave a lot of us fans, wondering what could have been. You got to follow through on it. That's my opinion. But yeah, I can't say any more than what I have, guys. I can't. So with all that said, thank you for sticking with me for 100 editions of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential. And do not worry, there will be more to come. But again, thank you for following me through the series for as long as you have, back when it started in 2015. Thank you for listening and watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, into the 101st edition, the 101st edition, I will see you guys all next time. Take care, God bless, and I'm out.